Hello and welcome back to episode 28 of the Middle Ground podcast. Thank you for giving me your time. Today we're going to be talking about doing hard things, why you should do them, and how to actually do them. One of the most important things in this day and age is discomfort, challenging yourself and doing hard things, because we currently live in a society where you could pretty much exist entirely without doing any hard things. You can exist in a comfort-filled world. And to a large part, that's what you're already living in. This entire system is built to create more comfort. With a few clicks on your phone, you can have food at your door. You can play games to get a sense of progression that otherwise you would have had to go out into the real world and do hard things to achieve. You can work a job from your laptop. Manual labor, not as important. There's so many factors about this day and age that just lead to comfort, and it's why we need to manufacture discomfort to keep us level. You need yin and yang. There's nothing wrong with comfort, in my opinion. There only is issues with too much comfort and not enough discomfort. You need to balance the scale. So let's start with why you should do hard things, and then we'll move on to how to do them, most importantly, right? Number one. Comfort is super addictive, and when you become reliant on comfort, your entire life shrinks around it, because there's never any push, there's never any challenge, there's never any expansion of your capabilities or the things that you know you can do. You're constantly living within what you know is possible, so you're never pushing the status quo, pushing the boundaries, trying to see how much your life can expand. Comfort shrinks your life, shrinks everything around it, because there's never any challenge, there's never any adversity. If you only do what's easy, your world gets smaller. You get less opportunities because you're attuning your brain to look for easy things. Not challenges, not hard things, not things that are worth it. Purely easy things, the easiest way. What's the quickest path? What's the simplest? What's the path of least resistance? Not what's the most worth it? What's the most impactful? What's the thing that will develop me the most as a person? You're never looking for that. You're always looking for what is the easiest thing. Secondly, if you can endure voluntary hardship and voluntary suffering, it sets you up so much better for the involuntary hardship that you're going to have to face in your life. You can't avoid difficulty and you can't avoid hard things for your entire life. There will be things thrown your way, whether it's illnesses or the deaths of a family member or being made redundant from your job. Whatever that is, you will be given hardship in one way or another. But if you've proven to yourself that you can do hard things and that when faced with adversity, you can get through it, those involuntary hard things, the things that you have no say over, that are thrown your way regardless of how you feel about them, become much easier to deal with, because you've built a stack of evidence that when hard things come your way, you can overcome them. You've proven to yourself time and time again that in adversity, you come out the other side. Whereas if you're constantly avoiding hardship and constantly avoiding hard things, you don't have that evidence, you don't have that proof. Those involuntary difficulties are going to be much harder to navigate because you don't know the path. You haven't forced yourself through the process of them yet, right? Number 3, confidence doesn't come from thinking or from easy things. You can't think your way into confidence. You just can't. You have to prove yourself there. You have to prove to yourself that you can do hard things, that you are the person that you say you are. There's the, ever rinse Alex Hormozy quote of confidence doesn't come from shouting affirmations in the mirror. It comes from building an undeniable stack of proof that you are who you say you are. And that stack of proof is built through doing hard things, doing difficult things, and keeping your word in hard times. You do not discover who you are when it is easy. You never will. You will only really figure out who you are and who you can be and the limits that you can push yourself to through doing hard things. Unequivocally, you will not grow within your comfort zone. impossible. Impossible. Not going to happen. Because you never give yourself the challenge to find out what's capable and what you are capable of. Because you can do so much more than you think you can, but you'll never find that out unless you actually put yourself in the situation and come out the other side and go, oh shit, I did that. I can do that. Which is so important. It's so important. Most people never realise their full potential. They never realise the person that they can be because they never put themselves in enough discomfort to grow. To put themselves in those situations that cause them to grow. That pain, that weight on your shoulders, that heaviness. Pressure makes diamonds. Pressure makes diamonds. That pain is you growing. It's you becoming a different person. It's you becoming a new person. It's you breaking out of your mold that you've put yourself in. It's you becoming that new, better, stronger person that knows that they can get through hard things, that has that confidence in themselves because they trust themselves to show up when it matters. So that's kind of why you should do hard things. In my opinion, that's why, at least. Now let's dive into how, which is very important. Because it's all well and good saying, oh, I can do hard things. This is why it's important to do hard things. But not a lot of people talk about how you actually do hard things. It's not that simple. It's not as simple as doing hard things. Like, you can't just go from 0 to 100. You can't just go do a hard thing, right? A lot of the times you have to manufacture those situations, and sometimes it's hard to figure out what to do. So let me cover this for you and not just give you generic advice, right? I'd say, number one, start smaller than you want to. Or more importantly, start smaller than your ego wants to. Because when you hear do hard things, everyone gets excited. I'm going to do this hard thing, I'm going to do this marathon, I'm going to do this Ironman, I'm going to do this, do that. Start with having a difficult conversation. Start with getting in a cold shower in the morning. Start with something so small that it almost feels insignificant, but it's still hard. Because then you'll realise the importance of doing the small hard things, and not necessarily just the big ones. You need to prove to yourself that you can do small hard things before you go and do massive hard things. Little things. Jump in the ice bath, have that tough conversation, get to the gym when you really don't want to. So many of things, and so many of the hard things are small, daily basis activities that you don't think about, that you avoid because they're uncomfortable. Maybe they're not even difficult, they're just uncomfortable. So lean into those things and let that compound into you doing bigger, harder things. Number 2, microdose it. Microdose the discomfort. Again, have a cold shower, have an uncomfortable conversation. Jesus. Have an uncomfortable conversation. Train really hard in the gym. Say yes to more things. Say no to more things. If you can get those small daily wins, those small things that stack up, those hard activities, those uncomfortable things, the big ones, you're going to have more proof for. You're going to have more proof and more evidence and more confidence that you can do the hard things because you've stacked up daily proof that you can actually do them. Number 3, do not wait to feel ready. As we know, through every part of self-development, personal development, health and fitness, whatever it is, you're never going to feel ready. There's never going to come a time where the stars align and you're going to feel good. And especially with doing hard things, hesitation is part of the process. It's not a red flag. It's not something to warn you against doing it. That's your body and that's your mind saying, don't do this thing. It's hard. It's scary. It's dangerous. That means that you should probably do it. That hesitation is the thing that means that you haven't done it before. That hesitation is the thing that you've listened to for years to stop you doing hard things and uncomfortable things and difficult things. So that means that you're doing the right thing. If you feel uncomfortable, if you feel like you're not ready, lean into it, push through it, and do the thing. Because then you start to build the proof that you can do the hard things. A really interesting method I use with doing hard things, so we'll call this number 4, is using your future self as leverage. So if you think forward to the version of you that's already done the thing, how do they feel? most likely better than you do now. They feel happy that they've overcome the thing. They feel proud that they've overcome the thing. So if you can, do today what you tomorrow would want you today to do, you're winning. If you can outsource that motivation, that leverage to the version of you that's already done the thing, the version of you that's waking up tomorrow morning, having done the hard thing, and already feeling the benefits of it, then fuck motivation. You don't need it, because you know how you're going to feel after. You know that that's better. You know that that is the path of action and the course of action that you need to be taking. So take it. You're already feeling the benefits. Take the course of action. You know how you're going to feel at the end of it. It's massive. It's a really interesting reframe that I use with a lot of my clients to get them to do things that they don't really want to do in the moment, but they know are going to make them feel better in the long term. Number 5, reframe resistance. If you don't want to do it, that's because you should do it. So similar to number 3, and don't wait to feel ready. If you can reframe resistance, that when you feel that resistance, that pushback from yourself, from your friends, whatever it is, probably means you should do it. Probably means you should dive right in, go head first, and fucking do the hard thing. Because you don't want to, which is a sign that you probably should. Number 6, do it for slightly longer than you think you should. Or slightly longer than you want to. Once you get to a minute in the ice bath, stay for an extra 15 seconds. When you feel like you're done with the hard conversation, or when you feel like you want to escape from the hard conversation, keep yourself in it. Keep talking. Because no negative is going to come from doing the hard thing for longer. And more often than not, that's where real growth happens. Simply because you're challenging yourself. You're thinking, oh shit. You're feeling that discomfort and that uncomfortableness, which again means that you're growing. It means that your previous self doesn't want to be there anymore. So you go, no. Fuck you. Not listening. We're doing this shit. We're staying here. We're going to keep doing the hard thing. We're going to stay in this set for a little extra longer. We're going to do an extra 5 minutes on the treadmill. We're going to do an extra 30 seconds in the ice bath. Those difficult things, those hard things, you can prove to yourself that you can do them longer than you want to. And then that compounds into a little bit longer and a little bit longer and a little bit harder and a little bit, more difficult, a little bit more uncomfortable. And you just get really, really accustomed to doing difficult shit. That people will start wondering how you do the things you do. And it's because you've realised that difficult shit feels good. And it makes you grow. And finally, collect proof. Collect these successes, these small wins, or the big wins, as proof that you are who you say you are, that you can do difficult things. Let them stack. Because that big stack of wins that you have of you doing hard things, things that you don't want to do, things that your body or your mind told you no, that's going to pay dividends in the long run. When you have this evidence and this proof and this belief that you can do difficult things, that you can do things you don't want to. Especially when life throws curveballs your way. You get made redundant. You end a relationship. These things that are inevitable at some point. Difficult things being thrown your way when you don't want to. You've got this stack of proof that you can do that shit. And that's all there is to it. You've got a stack of proof that you can do that shit. So I'll end on a couple quotes that I quite enjoy. Doing hard things isn't about pain, it's about identity. You're not just getting through it, you're becoming someone who doesn't back out. What a quote. Don't know who it's from. Fuck knows. But it is brilliant. It's not about pushing through pain, it's about becoming a new person on the other side of it. None of it's arbitrary. Again, this is why I wanted to cover why you should do hard things. Because it's not just about doing hard things. It's so much more about the person and the identity that you build on the other side of doing hard things. You're becoming someone that doesn't stop when it's difficult. You're becoming someone that keeps going even when it's hard. Even when it's the hardest thing you've ever done. You keep going. One last quote, and then we'll wrap this up. Most people aren't stuck because they don't know what to do. They're stuck because they avoid doing hard things. A lot of the times, people know exactly what they should be doing. They know what's holding them back. They know what they should and shouldn't be doing. But changing behavior is difficult. Changing behavior is hard. Changing behavior is uncomfortable. However, if you've taught yourself that you can do hard, difficult, uncomfortable things, then doing the things that you know you should be doing becomes much easier. Most people know what they need to do to lose fat. It's the information isn't hidden anymore. It's everywhere. Most people know what they need to be doing. But they don't want to do it because it's uncomfortable. So they play the card of, I don't know what to do, and I don't know. It's not that. It's that you know it's going to suck. But if you can build small bits of proof that you can do things that suck, changing that behavior becomes a lot easier. If you're stuck and you're in pain because you're stuck and you know what to do, put the pain aside. Because what's the bigger pain? Is it the pain of staying where you are, or is it the pain of changing your behavior? Because until that pain of changing your behavior is lower than the pain of staying where you are, you won't move. You won't act. You won't change anything. However, when you prove that you can do hard things, that pain of action becomes lower. The barrier becomes lower. So that pain of staying where you are has to be less for you to make a change. So you're no longer waiting for it to get up here before you actually inspire a change and you make a difference and you change your behavior. Now it might only have to get to here before you make a change because the barrier is much lower. The pain of changing doesn't exist much anymore because you've proven that you can do hard things. It's lower. So that barrier for the pain of being the same, that threshold, again, much lower. So you make changes quicker. You make them in less pain. And you act in a much quicker cycle. So you make more progress. You get ahead faster. As simple as that. So there we have it. That's why you should be doing hard things and how to do hard things. It's much simpler there on paper than it is in real life. But if there's one main piece of advice that I can give, it would be to start small. Start with things that your ego thinks are unnecessary. Reduce your screen time. Put the phone away. Don't look at your phone until midday. Have the cold shower. Go to the gym. Train hard. Go for the walk you don't want to go on. Go to bed early, even though you don't want to. If you can start with those small, difficult things, those small, uncomfortable things, the big ones become easier. You build this stack of proof that you can do difficult shit, and it feels much better. You build up, rather than throwing yourself in the deep end, it being too difficult for you to handle, you giving up, and feeling like you still can't do difficult shit. So start small, build up. And there we have it. This has been the Middle Ground Podcast. Thank you very much for listening. I'm Jude Venn, at Jude Venn Coaching on Instagram. If you're interested in coaching, go to my Instagram. Everything you need to know is there in my bio. Like, share, subscribe. Do your thing. You know the drill. Comment. Share it with a friend. I appreciate you giving me your time. It does mean the world to me every single episode. So thank you very much for listening. And I will see you all in the next episode.